दिल्ली की हर खबर अपने मोबाइल पर पाने के लिए सब्सक्राइब कीजिए दिल्ली दस्तक न्यूज़ चैनल को और हर लेटेस्ट अपडेट के लिए बेल आइकन जरूर दबाएं।
Address the audience.
A very, very good evening, and Shetty Amitabh Kant ji, Dr. Chintan. I think as a mentor, as an ambassador to Horses Stable, all I can say is thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for your support, because without that, it wouldn't have been possible. Without Niti, Aayog, Adult Incubation Mission, the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister, I think Horses Stable would never take off. And in the last 2 seasons or 3 seasons that we've done, especially the last season, I think there's been an 80% success ratio, which is huge by itself. That talks about the kind of talent that we have and the faith that the horses, the investors, our friends have in the brands that are being presented. So big thank you. Horses Stable Junior, I think where we would come from is probably be that finishing school or the bridge between the corporates, the investors, and of course the little geniuses that we are hoping to produce. The dream of the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, is to make India probably a country with the maximum number of unicorns. So I think a wee little bit of contribution from also our side would mean a lot. A lot of the media kept asking me, which is typical, because controversy is also what we thrive on, कि यार लेकिन Shark Tank तो है ही है ना, Shark Tank, Horses Stable, ऐसे 50 टैंक की ज़रूरत है ताकि हमारे बच्चों को वो प्लेटफॉर्म मिले. So I don't consider any one of them as competition for us. I consider it competition for the rest. Bringing us on, the team FTC and all of us onto this journey, this vision of yours, and we are partnering today, and hopefully we'll be very successful with Horses Stable Junior. To all the corporates, all my friends from the media who are here, who support us, because thereby you'll be supporting Little India. Now I say that because I didn't have this opportunity as a startup, because there was nothing called a startup. But I started young. I helped my father when I was 13 or 14. I used to love going to the restaurants. That's where I realized what dal and rice was what idli was, what vada was, why my father became who he was, an entrepreneur on his own. But from there I learned what hard work was. I learned how difficult it was to make a living. Juniors, that they matter to us. Their ideas matter to us. A 4-year-old thinks like a 14-year-old of yesterday. So let's support them. And once again, sir, thank you to both of you for being the absolute pillars for Horses Stable. Anis, for constantly thinking of doing something new all the time. So thank you so much, and for all the friends who are supporting. I'd like to take everybody's name, but it's not physically possible. So thank you.
Thank you, Sunil sir. Before we call Amitabh sir to address the gathering, I would like to request Sunil sir and Amitabh sir to do the honors to launch the promo of Horses Stable Juniors. Sir.
Prashant, Mr. Shetty, Chintan Vaishnav, all the horses here, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. When the Prime Minister had launched the Startup India movement in 2016, there were just 700 startups in India. Do you know how many of them are there now in India? 71,000 startups. That's been the growth and progress. We didn't have a single unicorn then. Today we have over 100 unicorns. And at the peak of the COVID, we had about 44 unicorns, and this year we already have about 20 odd unicorns. So what we've seen is that India has created an ecosystem of young innovators. We are disrupting every single area of growth, whether it's electric mobility, whether it's learning outcomes in EdTech, whether it's agriculture productivity, so agri-tech, many areas we are disrupting. And we're doing this because we've now launched about over 10,000 tinkering labs in schools, where young children from class 6th onwards go through drones, they go through robots, they go through 3D printers, artificial intelligence, all at a very young age. And our objective is that we should create an Atal Tinkering Lab in every school of India, so that these young children disrupt every single sector, so we are able to innovate and find a solution to the problems of India. There are many challenges of India. And once we find a solution, and our challenges are not like Silicon Valley that we need a driverless car. We don't need driverless cars. But we need challenges to drinking water, how to improve learning outcomes, how to improve nutrition. And once we find a solution to the challenges of India, we are not finding a solution for the 1.3 billion people of India, but for the next 5 billion people of the world who are moving from poverty to middle class the world over. So your market is not 1.3 billion, it's 5 billion people of the world. And that is why what India is doing is to create an ecosystem of massive dynamism, energy, vitality, and a huge amount of energy which is rarely seen anywhere else in the world. We've been able to create an ecosystem which is all across urban cities, but also tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities, and actually 555 cities of India have a startup. Every single city of India will soon have a startup. That is what we are doing. And this is all happening because of horses who are sitting here. Because they are the ones who are really supporting. They are the ones who are really assisting innovation. They are the ones who are driving growth. They are the ones who are giving fuel to great ideas and germination of great, really good entrepreneurship. Our objective is that from status quo, we must disrupt if India has to grow at high rates, and that's what the Prime Minister's vision is, that India must grow at high rates of 10% per annum, year after year, year after year, year after year. That can only happen if we do technological leapfrogging. And that technological leapfrogging is happening because horses are supporting great ideas. And so my compliments and congratulations to the horses first. Secondly, after this Horses Stable Junior, and this junior bit is great, it's a wonderful idea. I think these juniors, because you are germinating great ideas at a very young age, 10 to 17. If there was a Horses Stable Junior when I was young, I wouldn't have joined the IAS. I would have actually participated in this competition. So that's what we should do. India needs a lot of job creators, and that's what all these young children who will participate in this will do. So my compliments to Prashant, my compliments Sunil Shetty, who's in the vanguard of all unique things, all dynamic things, but I can assure you that many of these youngsters who will participate in this will disrupt your world of Bollywood definitely, and also your world of restaurants. So you are in for trouble in days to come. And so congratulations, all the best and all success to Horses Stable Junior.
Thank you so much. Okay, so now we all can see up on stage our hottest stable. The main pillars are already up on stage. So first of all, congratulations, and we wish you very, very good wishes, especially for the hottest stable junior, because this is one of the biggest idea which has never ever happened till now in India. And I think जो पहली शुरुआत करते हैं हमेशा नजरों पे ज़्यादा होती है, तो I'm sure शुरुआत हमारी है, असर भी हमारा ही होगा. So once again, congratulations to everyone, and you guys are doing good, trust me. So congratulations once again.
Please close.
I'd like to congratulate you on the launch of Horses Stable Juniors. My question to you is, what are some of the main characteristics that you're looking in the children who are coming forward with their ideas?
So, I guess one characteristic is their age. They'll be younger. But other than that, a lot of it is actually just the surprise that entrepreneurship is more about being entrepreneurial, right? So you can have a bureaucrat entrepreneur, you can have an actor entrepreneur like that. You can have an academic entrepreneur, and so on. So it's going to be the same characteristics as I see it, but it's just coming from much younger people. And because they are not encumbered or they are not yet completely destroyed by the expectations of the world, maybe their ideas are going to be more original. That's how I think.
Sure, sir. And a follow-up question I have, do you think that the ideas of teen children are reliable enough to be taken forward? The ideas of children are reliable enough to be taken forward?
Well, if I was to select someone, I'll look for energy. I'll look for a lot of persistence. It will not matter to me whether, a lot of people will fail. It doesn't matter. It's important that they fail. And Indians must learn this art of failing. And especially parents, funders, there's no big startup which hasn't failed the first time. So when you fail, you'll have a more resounding success the second time. So it really doesn't matter. What you should look for is that special spark, you should look for that special energy, and you should look for that special idea.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
I just like to say that let your children fly. We need to move away from status quo. We need to move away from very specified and rigid kind of job structures. India needs a whole range of young entrepreneurs. We need to get into sunrise areas of growth. Drones, geospatial maps, electric mobility, biotechnology, genomics, advanced chemistry, cell battery. These are areas which will drive India's growth in the future years. The more you get into sunrise areas of sector, you will have higher levels of growth. And therefore, India needs to disrupt every single sector of the economy. And I think that's what the parents will know. If they unleash the entrepreneurial spirit of their children, they'll all become, Elon Musk and Bill Gates of tomorrow. And they'll not be like Chintan Vaishnav and me, for tomorrow. So you need Elon Musk, you need Bill Gates, not us. That's important.
That's a great message indeed, sir. The next question I would like to ask Sunil, sir. Both of your kids have chosen their own paths. But I would just like to know what was your contribution when they wanted to go for the acting, as you are a great actor, you have worked for decades and we all look up to you. How was the journey of them to decide, and how much of the support was there from your side?
To answer both your questions, let your children live their dreams and don't live your dreams through your children. I think that will answer all that. And the atmosphere that children grow in is generally, if they're happy in that atmosphere, they generally want to follow that. It's like in my case, probably my children saw the love, the adulation that one got from people, and that is why they wanted to follow that dream. And I absolutely allowed them, made sure that I educated them in what they wanted to follow and not just about anything. Like earlier, it used to always be doctor, engineer, ya ye karoge when we grew up. And like Shetty Amitabh Kant ji said, I mean, let the children follow their dream because the world is open. Let them be those kids who are here to solve problems, and at the same time live their life the way they want to. Being happy being one of the most important things.
Thank you, sir.
In all these long sentences, Sunil Shetty was saying that his contribution is zero.
Kant sir and Sunil Shetty sir, from Dr. Nema, my question sir, Bollywood और मीडिया ने हमारे देश में इनोवेशन के लिए अभी तक जो फिल्में बननी थी वो अब नहीं बन रही हैं। हम करप्शन पर बहुत बात करते हैं और अवेयरनेस पर बहुत बड़ी बड़ी बातें करते हैं। शायद वास्तविक जीवन में यदि हम देखें तो उस तरह की फिल्में अब नहीं बन रही हैं। यदि हम देखें तो महसूस करें कि हमारा जो सिनेमा है हमारे जीवन से बहुत वास्तविकता के करीब है। और मीडिया तो कांत सर, यदि हम इतने बड़े बड़े प्रोग्राम करते रहेंगे और इनोवेशन के लिए ना फिल्में बन रही हैं ना हमारा मीडिया काम कर रहा है, तो हमें इसकी जागरूकता के लिए सर क्या करना होगा कि हमारे देश में एक चिंता और एक चैलेंज के साथ हमारे जो क्षमता मूलक समाज के लिए जो काम होना चाहिए वो नहीं हो रहे हैं। हमें लगता है कि कागजों में हम बात कर रहे हैं बस। तो मैं एक मीडिया एकेडमिक होने के नाते आपसे यह कहूँगी कि अपील करूँगी कि सर इस तरह के प्रोग्राम यदि हों तो हमें एक सीख और सबक लेना चाहिए हम सबको कि एक चैलेंज है NEP, भारत में NEP आ गया है तो हमें थोड़ा एजुकेशन को भी ध्यान रखना होगा। और सर ये जो प्लानिंग्स हैं इनमें इनोवेशन और इंटरवेंशंस के लिए मूवीज़ और मीडिया को भी अवेयरनेस किया जाए।
जी, थैंक यू। बहुत अच्छा।
हेलो सर।
Okay, I think
Sir, there is a huge debate around the whole concept of profitability. We speak about unicorns, a lot of startups, but if I'm right, a lot of our young startups are still not profitable. So my question is, when do you see Indian startups? Is it the 7th year, the 10th year, the 12th year, the 5th year on an average? When do you think the startup will start being profitable? Because there's a lot of cash burn that happens, and then we see a lot of downside, a lot of startups laying off employees. You must have seen a few such reports. So what do you have to say about this in terms of profitability? How do you look at it?
It's important to understand that startups need to follow all good business practices. Good governance models, good financial model. They need to get the best people, exactly what a good enterprise should do. If you do all that, profitability and success will automatically follow. You can't say that somebody is going to start making money in 4 years, somebody is going to start making in 5 years. That will depend on the particular startup, that will depend on the particular sector, that will depend on the size and scale. But the important thing is that any successful startup must follow all good governance norms. They will all succeed if they do this, because once you've passed a particular stage, it's very important that you work with the best, create the best possible business practices within your startup.
I am proud in 10 years a single unit has been allowed to be set up by the local government, by Mamaji, by anyone. When you change this perspective, nothing will happen. Don't talk on papers. I spent 10 years after my retirement to help my young entrepreneur. Nothing helps. Please change the module that they should be accountable, and if they don't do, they should be sent to jail. Then only it will be done. Nothing else can be done.
Thank you so very much.
Let's call it off.
Okay, so now we are wrapping up this question answer round. Thank you so very much everyone. Thank you for your time and support, and thank you so very much to all our dignitaries and all the people who are gracing this evening. Okay, so now we request four of you to please stand for the one group photograph, because we really had a good evening with all of you. So let's